The Switch 2 isn't even a year old and we have been getting some really fun games on the platform. That was about to change, at least for me. I did not like Kirby Air Riders. But I try to make these reviews as objective as I can and not let my personal experience stand in the way. So no matter what I think of this game will be scored as fairly as possible. In this video I will be looking at the graphics, gameplay and the content. First let's look at the graphics. I think the game is really gorgeous with amazingly made and stunning cutscenes. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was flabbergasted when I saw some of these cutscenes. Like, this is literal eye candy. This is what the Switch 2 needed. This kind of game is what the Switch 2 needed because it really shows the graphical power of the Switch 2 and I love that. There's actually nothing I can say bad about it. The main menu is absolutely gorgeous. It's perfectly well crafted. It's perfectly made. There's so much there and there's so much to see there. I love it. The UI is also so clean and well made. The only thing I can say as a nitpick that's maybe bad is the logo is pretty boring, but Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has the same boring logo. But other than that I can't say anything bad about this. So it is a 5 out of 5 for graphics. Now, if we look at the gameplay loop is very simple, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna be easy for first timers, because I played this with my girlfriend and she didn't understand what she had to do, because there are a lot of other things that are happening all around you. So it's actually a game that's easy to learn, you know, the controls are easy to learn, but everything else is kinda difficult to master. And I spent around 44 minutes actually doing every single tutorial there was, and I think every single tutorial was perfectly well done, and they're also optional if you just don't want to do them. But I would suggest, if you've never played Kirby Air Riders, you should do it. There's also like a lot more skill involved than first meets the eye. You also need to think about strategy while you're playing through the game and not just, you know, go forward, mash some buttons here and there and voila, it's good. No. And there are also a lot of like different playstyles with the different machines and I really enjoy that. There are a lot of variety of machines to choose from and I think that's really great, and I think that kind of flourishes the game a bit more. Same with every character is a bit different and I love that. Every character also has a different special. Aside from that, it's also a very chaotic game. So if you're not into chaotic games, not really liking like chaos in video games and really want to actually race, this game is not for you. This is not a good racer. This is 100% not a good racing game. It is a party game. Aside from that, I also do think that some power-ups that you get, like the fire power-up, are kind of weird to use. I don't like that you are sometimes stopping while using your power, and I think that it doesn't really work with some vehicles as well. So I would honestly say that that's kind of a sad part. I think it should have been a separate button. Same thing with the spin. I think that also needs to be a separate button or buttons, because going left and right, sometimes you just don't mean to spin, but you do spin. I also think that there is a lot of RNG involved in this game, but that's also the case in Mario Kart, and since it's a party game, it's obvious. Every single party game has RNG in it. It's kinda sucky, but it's part of the party, you know? Anyway, I would give gameplay a good 8 out of 10. Now let's go over the content. There is a lot of content here, and I think that's good. There are a lot of air ride tracks, and there are some of those air ride tracks that I think are designed really well, while others could have used a bit more flourish and stuff. Top ride is one of the 3 modes, which I think is fun and short and honestly perfect for just playing it for like 5 to 6 minutes once or twice, and that's about it. I think there's nothing much going on in Top Ride, and I think they could have done a lot more with it, but I feel like it's kind of there to just to say, hey, there's some more content than Air Ride and City Trial. Talking about City Trial, it's the best mode. It's literally one of the best modes out there. The only gripe I have with this is that there is only one map, and I already got pretty bored of the map after a few playthroughs. I wanted to see some variety Of course, I know there are some variety things here and there, and I do know that it pays off to know the map really well and to use that knowledge to your advantage, and I know that pays off, but I would have liked to see like maybe 2 or 3 maps, because in the long run that one map is gonna get stale really quickly. Then there is the final mode in the game, and that's the journey mode, and it honestly is like a really bad example of how to make a roguelike. I think this, for one, it's a roguelike. I don't expect it to be too long, but it really uses a lot of my time. I didn't think it would be this big for something that is actually never that engaging. I think it's engaging for like 3 to 4 worlds, but after that it's like it becomes a slog. It becomes a slog to get through it, and it gets very repetitive after a while, which roguelikes are kind of repetitive, but not in this way. Sakurai could have done something way more of this. Like, you had nice ideas with story, and it would have been nice to see smaller journeys with each and every single character, for like maybe 2D animations, because, well, they used it here, so might have been nice, because it's easy to tell a story small, fast and quickly, especially with Kirby, with just small little 2D animations. So I think it overstays its welcome. Then there's one final thing, and that's achievements in this game. Achievements suck in this game. As an achievement hunter on PlayStation, I think these achievements are boring. These achievements, you get them while playing the game. That's really boring. That's not good game design in my opinion. That is not balancing things out. It's just, oh, you get an achievement. It doesn't make me feel anything to get that achievement. There are too many achievements for every single mode that is in the game, and I think it could have helped if there were less achievements, but still the characters are locked behind them, because I think that's a cool idea, but there has to be balance. I think if there was, for example, a story mode with journey with every single character, you could have unlocked a few characters here and there. I would have liked to see some different ways to unlock characters and vehicles. The only way to unlock something else, vehicles, is buying them with miles. Not even characters, just the vehicles. And I think that's not really well thought out. More doesn't mean better, and this is definitely the case here. But I would still give the content a good 7 out of 10. That makes the game a 20 out of 25. Overall, this is a really great game with some flaws here and there, and definitely still worth getting, unless you're like me and don't really find the game as fun and engaging, but that's maybe just me. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and tell me what you think about the game. If you wanna see more, subscribe and like. See ya!